What's up, y'all? I'm gonna be recapping the UFC Fight Island Davison Figueiredo versus Joseph Benavidez card. It was a good card, man. I think it was better than the Cater card versus Danny. I'll say that for sure, man. A lot of I laughed, bro. The prelims was pretty funny, man. Man, we started off the show with Carlos Felipe versus Sergey Spivak. I was cracking up after the second round, bro. That dude Carlos Felipe was like, "Hey, you know what, bro? Can we stand? That grappling shit, that kind of gay, man. Don't he didn't say that, but it was kind of funny, man. I don't know if Sergey understood what he was trying to say, but it was a close fight. But I thought Sergey won that fight. I don't, you got out. Hey, man, honestly, you could have, they could have stopped that fight. There was moments where I was like, yo, this guy's just taking so many. Like, I understand they probably were shots that were like, he doesn't think they hurt. You know what I'm saying? And he was just taking them, but like he was taking a lot of shots. But yeah, man, Sergey looked good. Yeah, got a good W. Then we had a really good, interesting fight. I was super hyped for this. Davi Ramos versus Arman Tusk. Oh man, Tuskarian. He looked good. I mean, Arman looked good. Davi Ramos. They both were coming off losses to Islam Makhachev. I would say Arman did way better, but Davi didn't do too bad against Islam until he got dropped. But yeah, man, Arman looked really, really good, man. He's gonna be a problem at lightweight. Amir Alibis got a victory over Malcolm Gordon over submission. I didn't get to see some of these fights, man. So yeah, I kind of fell asleep. It was weird. Not because the fights weren't good, but yeah, it just my sleep schedule's all fucked up, man. I've been on the game, man. So I try to get these out the way. And then I think I seen Joe Duffy got submitted by Joel Alvarez. I seen that. Oh come on, man. I was mad, and I picked Joe too. And then Roman Dolidze got the KO victory over Kadis Admirov. But to the main card, hey man, Oscar Askarov looked pretty good against Alexander Porjanto. It was a good fight. I liked that fight a lot. But both guys, I don't know who's gonna get the number one contendership. If it's at a Oscar Askarov or Brandon Moreno. I felt like Brandon Moreno won their fight, even though it was, I think, scored or draw. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. But it is what it is. Irina Lipski won by submission over Luana Carolina. Hey, that was good. And then, dude, fight of the night, man. Mark Dukeski versus Rafael Fiziev. Hey, y'all called me stupid for picking Rafael. Now, obviously, I deserved it. I was basing it on his Muay Thai fights and Muay Thai highlights. Dude, when he did I had seen him do that in Muay Thai where, he does the spin, where he goes all the way back and goes super flexible on fools. But yeah, man, great fight. He got the W over Mark Dukeski. That's a good name. A guy that, was on, I think, a 2-fight win streak over Orlando Venata. And who else? Was it Joe Duffy, too? I think those two. So, yeah, he was looking pretty good up until now. So, Rafael Fiziev did his thing. It is what it is. But next fight, man. Hey, man, I might go off a little bit. Jack Hermanson versus Kelvin Gastelum, man. I always talk about it. Low fight IQ is such a rampant thing we see in MMA and especially in the UFC with top guys. And it's probably the most frustrating thing I see because it's not like, I thought Jack Hermanson was a gamed opponent. I picked Kelvin, but because just based on the striking advantage that he's going to have in this fight. But, if you pick Jack Hermanson, I know why you picked him. Some people picked him because he didn't look good against Darren Till, but I know most people picked him because based on the victory or the loss to Chris Weidman, where he just basically got out-muscled and then he got to put an arm triangle. He did so great in that first round. He dropped him. When I was watching it live, I thought, okay, it's checkmate, and then he got him down. And a lot of things is it doesn't matter how good of a wrestler you are. I found this out the hard way sometimes when I was wrestling, is that there's a certain weight class. I was wrestling out, and honestly, at his weight, well, not his weight class, it was 188 at the time during my senior year. And then I wrestled somebody, and they whooped on me. And hey, that's the truth. And it's not because I'm not going to use an excuse of because they were bigger. It's because I wasn't disciplined enough to lose the weight. That's why I lost, and they were the better person that day. Him, that's what I'm saying, man. Dude, you are not a middleweight. All right, this is what's gonna happen to you. He almost lost to Jacare. That was a close fight. You know, he is so talented. You know, he's able to get away with it, but you can't get away with it forever, man. You can't get. Imagine if you fought Jared Cannonier and Jared wouldn't fucking hump on him. He'd hurt him. He'd hurt him. Like that. I don't want to see him get hurt, man. And he needs to go up to welterweight. I know he can do it. He just doesn't want to pay for a nutritionalist. It's not anything about this, and that's all about discipline. There's certain guys that just shouldn't be. And you look at his wins, man. I don't want to say all the guys he beat were past their prime, but you know I seen the stat that he hadn't knocked anyone out that wasn't 10 years older than him, or something crazy like that. So you know it just tells me that Kelvin, you know, he did it to himself, man. He took Jack Hermansson down. I understand you were in a wrestling situation, and sometimes it's just instinctual. You know, it's just a part of you. That's why he went for the takedown. And hey, I can't blame him in this situation. I'm not gonna act like, oh, Jack Hermansson is has a lethal bottom guard or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so lethal from guard or whatever, and we haven't seen it. You know, so I'm not gonna act like he knew what Hermansson was gonna do to him, and he still did it. But he got caught. Hermansson didn't prove necessarily he was better than him in any facet of the game. He just proved that, you know, he was better in that situation. And Kelvin, he didn't lose a lot of stock in my opinion, but he lost. What he has to realize, man, he's doing this to himself. You know what I'm saying? And I like Kelvin a lot, but you're a welterweight, my guy. Imagine him versus Jorge Masvidal. Imagine him. Who's gonna go watch this fight and be like, oh, Kelvin Gastelum's not good? No, they're gonna watch this like, yo, this, like Hermansson didn't look humongous like I thought he was gonna look, because Hermansson's swole as hell. But I don't know if it was like the cut or whatever, or his diet. He looked a little skinnier, but yeah, he was. You could tell Hermansson was obviously the bigger man, and it's, you know, it takes discipline to know that I'm not supposed to be here, and it is what it is. But next fight, dude, this was depressing for me, man. I should have known better. I usually don't ever, most of the time, I don't pick guys after they lose the first fight. If you going into the rematch, I always pick the victor. And this one, I just picked Joseph Benavidez because I seen, and hey, you call it sour grapes, man. I picked Davison the first time, and I learned my lesson today. But I thought Joseph was gonna come out like a sprinter. I think he did, but the problem is there was too many moments where he was trying to explode with him in the pocket, and that wasn't the right thing. I understand you got a lot of space, you got a lot of time. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta strike when you gotta strike. But Davison, that guy, there is a clear pathway to beat him. I don't think it's necessarily being the better grappler. I think that's what people are getting it twisted. I think like with the way Formiga beat him was he got them arms tired. He got that lactic acid running through his arms. And if anyone knows how that feels, man, it doesn't matter who you are. You're done. Now, I give him one thing. He's a killer. I said it in my prediction video. Anyone that has a lactic acid running through their arms and they still go forward, man, they're a goddamn killer, man. You see Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, they end up backing up when that happens to him. So he's a killer. But yeah, man, he put it on Joe. I think knocked him out 3 times. Joe showed how tough he is. I felt really bad for him. A lot of people were getting on his head on Twitter, saying that he'll never win a title and this and that. I guess he proved him right. But Joe's a good guy, man, a hard worker. Got nothing to be ashamed of. Davidson's the champion. He's a killer. I like him as champion. He's an exciting guy, and I think we're gonna figure out, was it because flyweights are flyweights, or was it because Demetrius Johnson was such a boring champ that they weren't able to sell? Because this guy is entertaining. I want to watch him fight. He's a fucking killer. He's a killer, man. And yeah, it is what it is. Davison looked like a monster, man. I know Formiga's probably kicking the wall right now, wishing that he didn't lose to Alex Perez. Because, man, if let's say Formiga beat his last 2 opponents, he probably is the #1 contender for that belt. But I think they might I don't know, man. It's at a yeah. It's gonna be hard. I would go Brandon Moreno because I think that's gonna be a funner fight. I he's a hey. This is the division is fun right now. I don't know what Joseph does. It's his choice. Is he retired? This and that. No one's ever gonna look at you another way or whatever. I know some people might make jokes, but you know it is what it is. Joseph, you were great. You know he went on a run. You know, he just for this little 3-fight win streak, and he put it all on the line for himself. So, you know, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Can't wait for Robert Whitaker and Darren Till. It's gonna be an awesome card, and see y'all.